Squag, the arrivals hall at Planet Squag, intergalactic spaceport. The moment Spock arrived on Squag, he felt a sudden chill, as if a silent hand had caused the airways to stand still. No melody, no harmony, no tune or chord or song, a total lack of music. There was clearly something wrong. He powered up his spling twanger, the output set to low, and strummed an ancient melody that everyone would know. But instantly a squad of prodmen scuttled into sight and headed straight for Spock, who stood in bafflement and fright. A stranger who'd been watching Spock from far across the hall moved quickly to his side and pulled him back against the wall. She hit the entry panel on a vacant MTB. "Seems you have a problem, friend. You better come with me." The stranger pressed a button and the booth began to glow. The fast-approaching prodman seemed to suddenly go slow. Spock felt his body hovering. His head was filled with light. Then in a blinding flash, the spaceport disappeared from sight. Spock reappeared in Sector 8, the low-life end of town. The stranger let him stabilize, then looked him up and down. "You must be new around these parts, or frizzled in the head. Performing with no license? Groob, right now you should be dead." A license? Spock was overwhelmed. But why? Whatever for? "To keep us quiet. Rules are rules. There's several thousand more. Restrictions on recording. Total bans on playing live. All regoid beats prohibited. No rock, no funk, no jive." "No music?" Spock stood dismally, head hanging in the rain, his dreams of sonic freedom washing slowly down the drain. "Cheer up," the stranger took his arm. "It's not as bad as that. There's music here, all right. Come on, I'll show you where it's at." She led him down dark alleys, flanked by walls of plasti rock, until they reached an unmarked door. The stranger gave a knock. A secret code was verified, a password softly said. Then down in the underworld young Spock was duly led. A flood of music met his ears, so rich, so warm and deep, the likes of which he'd never heard beyond the realm of sleep. He felt himself enveloped in its magical embrace, a smile that spoke of utter joy upon his upturned face. The stranger led him through the hubbub toward a corner seat, where sat a massive crustopod she wanted him to meet. "This lump is known as Stickman." Stickman grinned a toothless grin. "And I, my friend, am Breather. Welcome to the world within." That night, Spock played his music as he never had before, a sea of sound that rose and fell upon a rhythmic shore. "Nice messing, Spock Groob," Stickman called. "You've really got it down. This joint ain't heard a mesh like this since Scatman came to town." "You've heard of Scat? Is he on Squag? I can't believe it's true. I heard about him back on Blip. He's just like me and you." But Breather shrugged. "I saw him once, a year or more ago. I heard that he had traveled on, but no one seems to know." Just then they felt a shudder, followed by a muffled roar. A mass of rocks and rubble flew across the cavern floor. A gaping hole, a searing light, the sound of stomping feet, and with a roar a dozen prodmen burst in from the street. "Come on," yelled Breather. "Time to split. This gig is getting rough. These groobs look like they want to play, but I've had quite enough." Spock tried his best to follow, but the rubble made him trip, and all at once he felt himself held in a vice-like grip. The musical inquisitor sneered cruelly at his prey. "My dear young Spock, we meet again. This really makes my day. Still making up our little tunes. Tut tut, you cause me pain. This time I'll have to see to it you never play again. Bring out the bulky racer. We've an innovator here who thinks he has some talent. Let's make it disappear." A sudden twist, a well-aimed kick. He feinted toward the right, and Spock was racing up the street and off into the night. Spock found the others, waiting for him further up the lane. "These raids are getting worse," said Breather. "Snoutface strikes again. I wish we could get out of here. Those prodmen are such creeps. But off-world tickets don't come cheap. Looks like we're here for keeps." An auto droid came skittering along the alleyway. a roll of posters bouncing in its general purpose tray. It quickly slapped a poster up, glanced back along the street, and darted off again upon its spindly metal feet. The worst band in the universe. Does your band make the grade? First prize, a trip to Alpha 10, all expenses paid. All life forms free to enter. See below for where and when. You've gotta play to get away. It's party time again. The worst band? Chortled Sprock. Hey guys, this gig sounds pretty weird. But brother told him here on Squag the title was revered. A name to wear with pride, my friend, a truly worthy goal. Who'd want to be the best band in this globalisant hole? Sprock read the bit again about the trip to Alpha 10. A chance like that was just too good, it might not come again. He turned back to the others. Well, we've nothing much to lose. We'd better start rehearsing if we're gonna win that cruise. The venue was a warehouse down in Sector 84. The glowing competition host was waiting at the door. Step right this way, my Grublets, let the tournament begin. Sprock thought he saw the slightest wink, and made the worst band win. Inside they found a mass of musos meshing all at once, a crodulous cacophony of clicks and snorts and grunts, a band of bogloids, heaps of gleeps, a nest of hydrobugs, some pangazoran pongo bums, a squeebling of slugs, a family of frugal snags, centurons by the score, a pair of long-eared slatermen, a giant omnivore. Such fabulous diversity, to name them all would spoil it, and they were just the life forms who were queuing for the toilet. Our heroes struggled through the crowd to Soundstage 42 and kicked off with a trucking song that everybody knew. The host declared them winners of their class in Section 1. They moved on to second round. The contest had begun. For 7 days and nights the competition raged, the most bizarre display of innovation ever staged. At last the hall fell silent. Every band had done its worst. They waited now, with bated breath, to find out who'd come first. The host stepped to the microphone, a wild look in his eyes. The judge has reached a verdict. Let's see who's won the prize. He held aloft an envelope and ripped it clear in two. The winner is... He paused and looked around. Why, Sprock, it's you. The worst band in the universe. First, they staggered back in shock. We've won the competition. We are out of here, cried Sprock. They whooped and yelled like crazy things. They leapt in sheer delight. No time for that, the host declared. You've got to catch your flight. He led them quickly from the stage straight to the waiting ship. It's set to automatic. Just sit back, enjoy the trip. If I were you, I'd get some rest. You've quite a ride in store. Be seeing you around, I guess. He grinned and slammed the door. The band was watching Trivy on the main transmission screen, a sitcom starring some brand new from Alpha 17. When suddenly the host appeared, that glowing golden smile. This program has been terminated. Do not touch your dial. He flashed a set of perfect teeth. The smile became a laugh, and then a dreadful cackling howl that split his face in half. The golden mask turned inside out, revealing in its stead the musical inquisitor. Surprise, surprise, he said. He looked at Sprock. Now there's a face I've seen somewhere before. You thought you had me beaten. Well, let's even up the score. Prepare you for oblivion, you innovative scum. Your feeble tunes are all played out, and now my time has come. I have a dream, a brave new world, where every note is fixed. All tunes shall be performed in C, the ancient songs remixed. A realm of sonic purity, the purging of creation, and absolutely positively zero innovation. Of course, these new arrangements mean some changes at the top. The eldest one has had her day. She's ready for the chop. "You leave her be," yelled Sprock, but the Inquisitor was gone, his laughter slowly fading as the spaceship hurtled on. A minute later, sirens blared, the seatbelt sign flashed red. "All crew prepare for hyperjump," the autopilot said. And then a void, a sense of loss, the future flashing by. The ship leapt 90 light years in the blinking of an eye. They reaped in orbit round a planet small and green. A jungle world, the readout told them, waste dump B-19. A warning buzzer sounded, waste pod 7 clear to go, a jolt, and they were falling into the unknown world below. "Who are we?" muttered Brother, as they struggled from the pod. "Some kind of jungle," Sprock replied. "It sure feels pretty odd." He gazed up at a foreign sky, a swirling starless dome. "One thing's for sure," he sighed, "we're all a long, long way from home." They waited from the waste pod. Sprock looked nervously around. "I'd swear the jungle's listening, just waiting for a sound." "This place has got me spooked," said Stickman. "How about a song?" He tapped his sticks and hummed a tune. "Come on, guys, sing along." At once a dozen creepers slithered toward them from the trees. "They're searching for the sound," Sprock whispered. "Everybody freeze." They stood as still as statues, while around them swayed the creepers, a terrifying real-life game of jungle finders keepers. Some unseen creature made a noise, an injudicious squeal. The creepers pounced upon it, and the squeal became a meal. The band looked on in horror as the vines devoured their prey, then with a shudder turned and tiptoed quietly away. They crept along in silence, not a whisper, not a word. Poor Stickman didn't dare to think, in case the creepers heard. But finally the jungle thinned. They stepped into the light, and found spread out before them an extraordinary sight. A vast metallic landscape met their disbelieving gaze, an interstellar junkyard disappearing in the haze. A figure sat there watching them, and what do we have here? Another bunch of fruzzled grubes, must be that time of year. 100 other aliens were perched amongst the junk, all kinds of musos, neutro, alloyed, hyper-rap, and funk. But one was clearly in command. He spoke from where he sat. "This here is Waste Dump B-19, and I, my friends, am Scat." "It's Scat!" cried Sprock. "I can't believe it's really you, oh wow." Scat watched with mild amusement, then he gave a mocking bow. "And you, no doubt, are winners." Then he, "Of a certain talent quest, the worst band in the universe? Ah yes, I might have guessed." "Don't look surprised, you're not the first. This happens every year. The thrilling win, the cheering crowds, and then you disappear. We've all been there before, my friend, from old hand to beginner. So welcome to the worst band club, where everyone's a winner." The band was stunned. Poor Stickman wept. Sprock